Salve ragazzi, benvenuti in questo ultimo episodio di The Forgotten City, l'urbe dimenticata. Quest'oggi dobbiamo andare a fare il quarto finale e ovviamente dobbiamo andare a parlare con Ade, che abbiamo scoperto essere un alieno di un altro mondo secondo la storia di questo gioco. E senza ulteriori indugi, come sempre, prima di iniziare direi di lanciare la sigla. Ok, eccoci qui. Ovviamente salterò le domande che abbiamo fatto l'altra volta e andrò direttamente a parlare di ciò che ci interessa, ovvero distruggere la Golden Ruler e scappare da qui. Ok ragazzi, allora vi sto chiedendo quello che gli ho chiesto l'altra volta, ovvero, ma la Golden Ruler però non è sempre giusta, tipo ad esempio, no? Quando una persona si fa pagare per salvare la vita di un'altra persona, in questo modo, no? Come per esempio ha fatto Decius con la medicina.
The merchant. How is that inconsistent with the rule I've outlined? I disagree. Having watched this merchant, that is precisely what he would expect from others, and he would be quite capable of paying the price anyway. Applying this rule always requires speculation to some degree. It requires us to ask what another person would want if they found themselves in another situation. Now tell me.
Ok. Debito di schiavitù?
You speak of the moneylender. How is that inconsistent with the rule? And he would never have signed a contract pledging his labor for 30 years.
Ok.
Ignoring your irritating sense of moral superiority. This is interesting. I'm curious, how do people escape poverty where you're from?
Come fanno le persone a scappare dalla povertà da dove vieni? È consueto prendere un debito per comprarsi una casa e per pagarsi anche un'educazione in alcuni imposti. Dipende, tipicamente decade, alcune volte li segue per tutta la loro vita.
I fail to see how your system of loans is significantly different to a debt bondsman signing over his labor for 30 years.
Non è la stessa cosa.
Supposing you're right, then my law has been broken, and I should turn you all to gold immediately. Is that what you want?
No, no, no.
Now tell me, what other sins do you...
Allora, chiediamo come le persone si suicidano
I
invece.
see no such thing, but in any case, taking one's own life is a self-directed act. It is not one that is done to others, however they may be affected by it. Therefore, it cannot be said that one who commits suicide has done anything unto others. Now tell me.
Va bene. Abduction, non so cosa sia.
Abduction? You mean the magistrate imprisoning his daughter and sister, I take it? He did
Ok,
so because she sought to escape.
incarcera le
Sin
persone.
I take particularly seriously. Better that he stops her from escaping, albeit brutishly, than I have to wipe out this entire city to punish her. Wouldn't you agree? Now tell me, what...
Vabbè, diciamoli della
I
truffa.
disagree. Applying... Not if we're one... Supposing you're right.
Ok, ci ho dato ragione.
Now tell me.
Però se diamo troppa corda, poi dopo trasformano tutti in golden status.
The midwife and the
In statue d'oro.
Now tell me. Do you honestly think you could do better?
Ok, io non penso di poter fare meglio, ma questa è la mia opinione. Nobody, quindi nessuno può imporre il giusto e il sbagliato. Quindi sei diventato un tiranno perché imponi ciò che è giusto e ciò che è sbagliato.
I should strike you down for that.
Merda.
Now, Did you have any other questions before your reckoning?
Gli abbiamo detto, e se lo fai, ho ragione io.
Very well. Good. And now it is time for your reckoning. Only, it seems, something is wrong.
Quello che gli abbiamo fatto notare, qualcosa è sbagliato.
To see into the hearts of mortals and weigh their deeds in life. But
L'abbiamo fregato.
when I peer into you, I see only a blank slate, as if you did not exist until you appeared in this city. How is this possible? Charon, where did you find this one?
I do not remember ferrying you. How did you come here?
I am from the future.
If that is true, then I sense the intervention of someone powerful.
How did you come to be in this time, mortal? Who brought you here?
We cannot know.
Sono arrivato qui da solo.
Impossible. No mortals possess such power.
È una spiegazione
Not
migliore?
yet, but I will learn the truth. Enough of this. It seems I will need to put your reckoning on hold for now. But answer this. Why have you come here? What is it you see?
Voglio solo andare via da qui. Sono qui per mettere fine alla Golden Ruler. Niente, io voglio andare via. Sono qui per ucciderti. Sono qui per ucciderti. Nulla, voglio solo andare via da qui.
Selfish little creature. It is out of the question. You know far too much now, and would only corrupt the wager. You will remain here as my servant until all the golden rule is broken. It is not open for discussion.
Vado via?
Surely you did not think I would allow you to return to the others and tell them what you've learned here. You know far too much now, and you will remain here as my servant until the wager is won, or the golden rule is broken. It is not open for discussion.
Ok, quindi rimarremo qui finché, diciamo, o Erege is won, non so cosa voglio dire, oppure la Golden Ruler si è rotta.
Your hubris is amusing. So
La
I will allow
hubris.
you to make your case. But I warn you, if you anger me or waste my time with lies or wrong-headed arguments, you face death here. So,
Ok, quindi è una
tell me,
minaccia.
why should I put an end to the so-called golden rule?
Se fai questo per amore, sappi che Persefone non ti ama. Proserpina, vabbè, Persefone. How can you expect Usulaeus? Ok. La Golden Ruler ha corretto questa città. E sei pur certo che non vincerà mai The Wager. Penso sia tipo la corruzione, del genere. Come ti aspetti di vivere senza peccato se tu non puoi commetterlo?
That is a very serious accusation, mortal. What sin have I committed? What evidence do you have to support it?
Ecco, per esempio, questo qui, uccidere gli innocenti.
Every one of those people was guilty of failing to ensure their peers lived virtuously. They failed collectively, and so they were punished collectively. The Romans understand this, as did the Greeks.
Ah, da dove vengo io? La punizione di massa è considerato uno dei peggior crimini che si possa fare.
How unfortunate that we are not where you are. Ah, but I am a god, and you are a mortal. Why would you expect me to treat you as I treat my own kind? You are not a peer. You are not a respected equal. Let me ask you this. Do you treat insects as you wish to be treated? Do you care for their well-being as you would your fellow man? Do you ensure they have food and shelter and protection from predators? Do you give them rights?
Yes.
I warned you not to lie.
Ah,
The many shall suffer
ok, prendiamo la corona e andiamo via.
of the one.
Cerchiamo di non morire come l'ultima volta. Ok, via, 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 via. Siamo di qua? Ok, l'importante è passare dietro le statue. Non davanti. Aia. Abbiamo uno sputo di vita. Ci siamo. Siamo arrivati vivi al tempio. Ok ragazzi, allora, sono tornato indietro e adesso dobbiamo vedere cosa fare. Qui c'è Galerius come sempre. Io direi di presentarmi molto normalmente.
Yulia. I'll...
Ok. E adesso nell'inventario noi abbiamo la corona, giusto? Sì. Cosa potremmo farci con questa? Ok, riavvolgi il tempo e mostra a Pluto la corona di Proserpine. Dobbiamo tornare su al tempio, ok. Bene ragazzi, ora sono tornato al tempio e adesso dobbiamo vedere... Sì, dobbiamo mostrargli questo.
I would recognize that anywhere, and yet my beloved still wears hers. What is this? How did you come by it?
L'ho presa da lei dopo averlo ucciso in un'altra timeline.
You vile, despicable creature. Why would you do such a thing? And worse still, boast about it.
Ah, posso farlo tutto il giorno. Metti fine alla Golden Ruler o lo farò di nuovo.
You have put me in an impossible position. If I refuse, you will murder her. And yet, if I agree, I will lose my wager and return to Elysium, humiliated and alone.
Questa è l'idea.
Perhaps you are cleverer than you appear. I do not see that I have a choice in this. Your
Dai.
treachery and savagery have opened my eyes like nothing I have witnessed in 3,000 years. And now you have shown me your species' true colors. And I see that Proserpina was a fool to have ever believed in you at all. This has gone on too long. It is time
Psycho,
for me to let
trofeo
go of this
sbloccato.
form of her, of all of you. But know this, if I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever ascend.
Noi vogliamo solo tornare nel nostro mondo. Perché non possiamo venire a Elysium?
Because despicable creatures like you have no place there. My kin would never allow it. The best I can do is return you to the land of the living. I will have Charon make arrangements to ferry the others. But as for you, be aware you will be separated from the rest.
Non farmelo uccidere di nuovo.
Enough, foul creature. This is not something I have decided. You see, once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to this moment will never have taken place, and you will have created a paradox.
Credo un
What will
paradosso,
become of
ok.
you is difficult to predict, but that is the risk you have taken by interfering in the natural flow of time. Now, are you ready? Best pray our paths never cross again, mortal.
Ok, ce l'abbiamo fatta. Abbiamo fatto il quarto finale. A Herculean Task. Eccolo lì, di fronte al tempio. Ah, che figata. È crollato tutto. Devo raccontarti una storia di alieni e mostri.
Oh. Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
Sono venuto qui per cercarti.
Here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Marcello.
Oh, did that lady in the forest send you in here after me? I guess I lost track of time, learning about the history of this place, and it is extraordinary. I'm fairly certain you and I are the first people to set foot in this city for about 2,000 years. Fortunately for us, the last person in here was a Roman man named Galerius, who inscribed an account into a tablet. Apparently, there was a community of 20-something people trapped in here,
Galerius,
living in fear of a curse they called the Golden Rule. They believed that if even one person sinned, an unknown god would cast them all into gold, like the 1,000 people who'd lived here before them. Then, one day, just as Galerius had finished praying for a good harvest at the shrine of Proserpina, an oracle appeared and told him how to solve the ills of the city, like saving the life of a dying woman, foiling an
siamo stati noi,
assassination,
giustamente, perché l'ho fatto totalmente a caso quella cosa.
Meanwhile, the oracle walked up
era un
to the
automatismo
temple of the
ormai.
mysterious god, this one right here, and demanded an audience. And the doors just opened up to him. Nobody knows what went on in there, but Galerius wrote the oracle must have been more persuasive than Odysseus. Because the next
Siamo
thing
stati
he
più
knew,
persuasivi
the
di
ground
Odisseo.
shook, and the voice of that god rang out over the city. The many have suffered long enough. Unfortunately, Galerius' account just sort of stops after that, leaving a lot of questions unanswered. What became of him, and the other people who lived here? What happened to all the golden statues? And did this mysterious oracle single-handedly undo the curse that had terrorized people for hundreds of years?
Questi romani sono pazzi, SPQR. Ero io.
What? Oh, I see. For a moment there I thought you were serious. Anyway, I think I found a way out through the aqueduct that brought water into the city. Follow me.
Return to the river. Poi i finali possono anche essere cambiati. Ad esempio, quello che abbiamo fatto l'altra volta l'abbiamo salvato tutti. Non abbiamo salvato proprio tutti, perché abbiamo lasciato indietro quelli che avevano bisogno di cure, e anche tra cui Rufus, Julia, e quindi sono morti.
You're back. Oh, why don't...
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions.
In realtà no.
You
Ok.
he died in that man's name. You were
Bene. Sì, queste sono le stesse cose che c'è l'altra volta.
I see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look, here comes Al now. Al!
Kinda lot, and there was a...
Sounds like quite a story. And I look forward to hearing all about it. But you two look exhausted.
Sounds good to me.
Sì.
And you? Are you ready to
Ready
go
to
home?
go home? Alright, Caron. Fair is home. Portaci a casa. Un anno dopo. Bellissimo. Lui è Al. Questo museo.
Hey, you made it. It's great to see you again. I read your book, and what the critics said about it. I guess they weren't ready for your theories about the underworld. Anyway, after
Le
everything
nostre
you've been
teorie
through, I thought you might
sull'aldilà.
appreciate some good news. So after we got back to the real world, I started doing some research into the people mentioned in Galerius's tablet, and I found something strange. I'm sorry I've been so cryptic. I've been dying to tell you, I just really wanted you to see this for yourself. Why don't you head on down there? I'll catch up with you at the other end.
Vediamo cosa ha da dirci Galerius. Galerius è il vero protagonista del gioco e non vogliamo un cazzo in confronto a lui.
Oh, hello. There he is.
It's you.
What the fuck? Che sta succedendo?
Finally here. Remember me?
Galerius, what are you doing
Crazy
here?
story. After you disappeared, Karen appeared and told us she was returning us to the world. Even gave us some coins to help us start our lives over. Only, for some reason, she returned us to your world instead of ours.
Bellissimo.
Anyway, I know we only ever had that one conversation, and I wasn't even sure if you'd remember me, but I wanted to say thanks for freeing us from the underworld and giving us a second chance at life.
Quindi siamo tornati in vita. Sei con i questi adesso, pure. Cosa fare per te stesso in questi giorni?
I know.
No, diciamogli i
I can't
queti.
believe my luck either. But we're engaged and living together. We're planning to get married next spring. If you're
Bellissimo.
gonna be around, we'd love to see you.
Lo adoro. Contaci. Ci sarò.
Oh, I used Karen's gift to buy a farm in Umbria. Got a villa
Ah.
on it too, with enough room for Dooley, of course. It's hard work, but I sleep soundly every night. I'm finally my own man, and
E quindi adesso Galerius è una fattoria in Umbria.
Of
Bellissimo.
course, there's a whole museum full of people waiting for a chance to thank you, so you better keep moving. We'll speak again soon, my friend.
You're here. It's lovely to
The
finally
Oracle.
meet you. Galerius
Perché ho
told me
sbloccato.
all about. So,
Bello
you're
vederlo,
the
Queti.
hero who somehow vanquished the last of the Roman gods. As I'm a priestess, you realize you've put me out of work. I'm just teasing. Actually, and it still
Ha bisogno
feels a
adesso
little
disoccupata
sacrilegious
perché
to
era una
say this.
sacerdotessa.
I'm finding life after religion quite enjoyable. Galerius and I are engaged and expecting. We've just bought a lovely villa in the countryside with room for a large family, and Dooley too, of course. It feels
c'è anche
like the
Dooley.
world has just opened up for us. There's so much to learn, and so many more possibilities for our children than we ever imagined. We're just so thankful for what you did for us, for all of us. Oh, it's sweet of you to ask. She recovered nicely. In
Come sta
fact,
Livia?
She's here somewhere, if you'd like to ask her yourself. See you at the wedding.
Parliamo con Dooley.
Hello.
Bellissimo questo
I'm
finale.
Dooley. Galerius said you're very nice and a big helper. Thank you for getting us out of the bad place.
Ma senti o dov'è
I
in tutto
didn't
questo?
like
It's you.
it. I live at Galerius and Equitia's house. They look after me now and help me remember when I forget things, like brushing my teeth.
Ma dai, lo aiutano. Mi dispiace che tu non abbia mai potuto trovare il tuo tesoro.
Oh,
No.
forgot about that. I like my box now. Galerius got me a box that tells stories. It's my favourite thing. Bye bye.
Ok. Qui c'è Lucretia. Orazio.
Hey,
Sentia. E Giulia.
You're the Oracle, right?
Sì, sono io.
Oh, of course. Sorry. And I never got a chance to thank you for telling Galerius how to save my life. And of course, getting me and all of us out of a terrible situation. Oh, I barely
Cosa fai adesso?
recognize myself. I'm living in a house share in London with my wonderful girlfriend. And I'm studying English at university. Eventually, I want to travel the world and write about it. Turns out, it's about 30 times bigger than the Roman
È
Empire
30
ever
volte
was.
più grande
Did you
dell'impero
know there
romano,
are
bellissimo.
entire continents Rome never knew existed. And you can travel almost anywhere in an aircraft, which is rather like flying on a Pegasus, but much more comfortable. Oh, sorry, you already know all that, of course.
Posso
I'm
volare
just
sul
so
cielo come
excited.
in un
There's so much to see and
un
learn and
aggeggio. Ho
write
detto
about.
che sembra Pegaso, ma è molto più confortevole.
I have noticed people from your time have no idea how fortunate they are. I hope to change that. One day.
O meglio, come avrei fatto con Pegaso, però è molto più confortevole. Cosa è successo a Maleolos e Claudio?
Last I heard, Malleolus kept insisting he was the last rightful ruler of the Roman Empire, and wound up being committed to a psychiatric hospital.
Ma
As
dai.
for Claudia, she was always so viciously unhappy. Someone said she'd blown all her money on wine, trying to drink herself back to the underworld. After the horrific way they treated Ulpius and me, I can't help feeling a sense of... what's that German word? Schadenfreude?
Ok, quindi Malleolos era impazzito e diceva di essere l'ultimo vero imperatore dell'impero romano, e che è stato ricoverato in un ospedale psichiatrico, mentre Claudia ha bevuto fino alla morte.
Thank you. You're very kind.
E invece poi vabbè, lei e Ulpius si sono separati.
Someone told me she
E Aurelia
was
cosa è
boasting about
successo
getting
invece?
her claws into some rich prince, and how she was going to be living the high life from now on. Even in your time, life still isn't fair. Apparently, he'd proposed before they'd even met. And last I heard, she'd bought herself a first-class one-way ticket to join him in some exotic place called... what was it? Nigeria?
Ma dai.
Some people have all
Quindi
the
quella
luck.
della locanda si è sposato un principe nigeriano, bellissimo.
Really? Huh. I feel better already. Thank you. You too. I hope so.
Ok, parliamo con Orazio.
Hi there, I'm Horatius. I understand we have you to thank for giving us a second chance at life, and reuniting Scintilla with us as well. So, thank you. I'm living up north and studying in the military academy in Modena. I'm going to be an officer one day. The world's changed a lot, but some things stay the same. Would you believe we're still studying military tactics from my time? Alexander the Great, Caesar, Hannibal Barca.
Giustamente il mondo è cambiato molto, ma studia ancora le tecniche del suo tempo. Strategie.
Seneca wrote, "The ones who pioneered our paths aren't our masters, but our guides." Ah, you remembered that. Thank you. I grieved for a time, but that's done. In the words of Epictetus, as those who rode behind triumphant generals remind them they are mortal, remind yourself your precious one isn't one of your possessions, but something given for now, not forever. Thanks.
Va bene. Domitius, cosa è successo al gladiatore?
He's not my... Oh, I see what you did there. Good one. He had more trouble adapting than most. He got himself disqualified from the UFC. So he started...
È stato squalificato dalla UFC.
Bloodsport tournament, like we had in Rome. Suppose it appealed to people's baser instincts. And they say he made some good coin, killing a bunch of men like that. But his luck finally ran out. And his life along with it. You know what they say. Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Vivi per la spada, muori per la spada.
You're not wrong.
Quindi è diventato un sicario.
And you.
Peccato.
Farewell.
Hey,
Ok, uno scutum e un elmo romano.
I take it you're the Oracle. Actually, I changed my name to Cynthia. I didn't want to be associated with Sentius
Evening.
after what happened. I'm not
adesso
sure
si chiama
if you
Cynthia.
heard, but after you drove Pluto off, Proserpina emerged from the Great Temple. She knew right away what none of us had figured out about that psychopath. He'd been keeping my little sister locked up in the upper cistern all that time. But he's been dealt with. He's... you know what? The important thing is, we'll never see him again. Anything I want. I'm a woman of means in a vast new world. I can go wherever
fa ciò che
and
vuole,
do
perfetto.
whatever I please. Of course, I mostly just stay in my villa and have my servant Alexa summon things for me, because it's just awful out there. Barbarians everywhere.
Cioè, si è comprata l'intelligenza artificiale di Amazon, perfetto. E poi vabbè, ha detto mi aiuta tutto quanto, e ci sono barbari tutti intorno a me, perfetto. Cosa è successo a Sentio?
He's still there, all alone. The last golden statue in the underworld.
L'ultima golden
Trapped
status
in
in
a
the
metal
underworld.
shell, slowly losing his mind until the end of time. Eternal torment. Just what he deserves, if you ask me.
Lui una volta mi aveva detto che voleva vivere per sempre.
Then I suppose he got his wish. You too. See you around.
E poi c'è Lucreti anche.
You are here. It's nice to finally meet you. Lucy is fine. I'm making
Lucy
an
adesso.
effort to blend in, as you can see. We are all trying to keep a low profile. If the world knew we died 2,000 years ago and were suddenly brought back to life 12 months ago, they'd never leave us alone. Speaking of which, I wanted to say thank you in person. I'd say the gods smile on you, but I hear you drove the last of them off. So I'm studying
fai?
to get into medical school.
Ah, giustamente
As
studia come
much as I
medico.
resented the responsibility of keeping everyone in the city alive. When it ended, I realized I missed it. So I guess I'll just keep saving the world, if begrudgingly, one patient at a time. You too, don't be a stranger.
Non sparire. Il filosofo ermetico. E lui?
Some soiree, innit?
Theseus.
Good evening.
Hello there.
Ottavia. Livia. Ce ne sono un bel po', eh. Io ovviamente parlo con tutti perché è bellissimo questo finale.
Greetings. You must be the legendary oracle. I am told we have you to thank for freeing us from Hades, and for that I am most grateful. I am reacquainting myself with Greece. It has changed so much over the last 2,000 years, I barely recognize it. This is at once heartbreaking and thrilling.
Ok, quindi è andato un archeologo.
Perhaps one day, once I have seen all of this new Greece and sampled her delights, I will settle down in Santorini in a villa overlooking the Azure Aegean Sea. I hope you will join me there and regale me with the story of how you faced off against the fearsome god of the underworld and won. You too, my friend.
Fabia.
You're the one we've been waiting for. I'm Fabi. I wanted to say thanks for sending Galerius to save my life. I don't know how you knew, but I would have been crushed by that shrine for sure.
Ah, c'è anche Rufus, se non mi sbaglio.
I'm just so
Si chiamava
happy
l'altro.
to
Sì,
be
Rufus, che
here
dobbiamo
with you
capire
and
cosa ha fatto.
everyone together again, even if it's just for
Forse
one
più
more
avanti.
night.
Ok.
Well, it's not like I have to work with all the silver Charon gave me, so I just do what makes me happy. Mostly that means baking for my friends and looking at memes while binging TV shows in yoga pants. What a time to
Ok,
be
lei ha scelto di
alive.
vivere felice.
Thank you. I really am. You too.
Vediamo il filosofo cosa ha da dirci.
I take it you're the oracle everybody's talking about. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. We have. I'm sorry, I don't remember. In any case, I'm Philip. I never thought I'd leave that cave,
Ok, Filippo.
let alone the city. And now I'm living in the 21st century. What a time to be alive. And it seems I have your catabasis to thank for it. I'm working as a consultant to the Faculty of Classics at Cambridge University.
Ok, lui ora è una
helping
facoltà
fill the
classica
odd
della
gap
Cambridge
in
University.
knowledge. Not that I need the money, but I do love being around enlightened minds again. My sincere thanks once again.
Qual Parliamo con Duli, che giustamente si è messo sul triclinio anche se c'era scritto non toccare. Con Decius.
Hello at
Scusate.
last. You must be the oracle I've heard so much about. I'm Decius. Listen, I wanted to express my sincere appreciation for what you did. If it wasn't for you, I'd never been able to sell all those useless old relics I accumulated. Whatever you did in that temple made me
Ah, quindi ha accumulato un botto di reliquie.
Thank you. Most gracious of you. I took the money I made from selling my trinkets and started investing in the stock market. That's where the real money is now. In fact, I was
Ok, quindi avete un investitore di borsa.
the oracle and future seer and all that, on which stocks I should invest in next. I can't decide between fossil fuels, tobacco, gambling and arms. What would you recommend?
Posso davvero vedere il futuro? Diciamoli, sono felice per te.
I won't take no for an answer.
Broadcast television, DVD, print media. Broadcast.
Oh, of course, yeah. I was just thinking the same thing. I'll go home and buy up as much stock as I can tonight. I'm gonna make a bloody fortune. Of course, don't let me keep you. Thanks again for the tips.
E l'abbiamo fregato anche nel futuro. Perfetto. Ok, parliamo con Ottavia.
Oh, hello. It's lovely to meet you. I've heard so much about you. I'm thankful that you're here. I was sure the person who drove off the last pagan god would have more important things to do than visit the likes of us. But thank you for coming and for saving our lives. What you did was extraordinary, and I'll never forget it. I'm living in Rome again, in a charming little flat by the Tiber.
Ok, è tornato a vivere a Roma.
Oh, and I'm training to be a crisis counselor. After you sent Galerius to persuade Ulpius not to take his own life, I was inspired. I just want to spend the rest of my life helping people.
È diventata una psicologa.
Thank you. That means a lot. And wonderful.
Greetings. Thank you for your kind words and for liberating us all.
Vecchiata
In all the
malissimo.
time I was in the underworld, I never once imagined that I might end up in a place so much like Elysium. I'm recovering. Octavia was kind enough to let me stay with her for a while. At least until I'm well enough to be independent
È stata
again.
ricoverata, però adesso si sta riprendendo per tornare a vivere normalmente.
Ah, you remember that. I'm a little tired of Ovid, but that's all right. I have 2,000 years worth of poetry to catch up on now. I'm already up to the 19th century and am quite enjoying the
Poi,
work of a fellow
diciamo,
named
era già vecchia
Poe.
prima, ma è invecchiata ancora
I
di più.
think I may have found a kindred spirit. Men have called me mad, but the question is not yet settled whether madness is or is not the loftiest intelligence. And you, farewell, friend.
Ok, allora vediamo adesso chi c'è in questa stanza. Allora, lì vedo...
Hello
però il
there.
nome? Ah, qui c'è Sentia. Ah,
Oh.
Sentia.
I go by Gabriella now. I didn't want to be reminded of that monster every time I heard my own name. After you drove Pluto off,
Lei si chiama Gabriella, va
Serpina
bene.
came and released me, and that monster got what was coming to him. Don't worry, nobody did. I'm living
cosa
with
fai?
Ulpius on a little vineyard in Umbria.
Ah, vive con Ulpius.
It's even more wonderful than I dreamed it would be. I'm so grateful to you for making sure he's still with us. If you're ever passing through the region, I hope you'll come and visit us. You can try some of our very own wine.
Ok, quindi vivono nella stessa
You too.
zona di Galerius, probabilmente. Kabash.
It is an honor to finally meet you, Oracle. You know my name. Oh, of course. You are an oracle.
Tu conosci il mio nome? Ah, ma certo, sei un oracolo.
I would like to offer my thanks for releasing us from that place and for your role in bringing us here. This world is truly wondrous. For a time, I returned to Alexandria.
Ok, ritornato ad Alessandria.
But they have no need of another fisherman, and I came to see there is nothing for me there. Instead,
Non c'era nulla per lui.
the custom of your youths and backpack the world. It is a great adventure, and I have met many people from many cultures.
Ok, quindi lui, diciamo, va in giro per il mondo.
25 years of my life avoiding the 42 sins that would deny me access to the afterlife. Now, I think it is time I had some fun. Indeed. Thank you, Oracle.
Rufus e Virgil. Secondo me cosa è successo?
It's nice to finally put a face to the name. I'm Ulpius. I understand I have you to thank for sending Galerius to save my life. The way you just showed up out of the blue and stopped me from making a terrible mistake. I'll be forever in your debt. I'm living with Gabriella in Umbria. We finally bought the little vineyard we always dreamed of. Every day I look at her.
Va bene.
And this extraordinary new world.
Questo straordinario nuovo mondo.
And I think, what if I'd given up hope? And missed out on all of this? So we're living each day to the fullest. And we end them all the same way. Sitting together on our terrace with a glass of our wine, which the locals say is almost drinkable now, and watching the sunset over the rolling hillside. And I
Guardare il sole tramontare sulle colline.
Thank you. You too.
Secondo me cosa è successo a questi due? Secondo me sono una coppia.
Nice to meet you. I go by Rufus now.
Rufus.
Start. Your name. Oh, and thanks, by the way, for what you did. Sorry, I'm no good with the mushy stuff. I live with Virgil in Rotterdam.
Ah,
far
Rotterdam.
From where he grew up. It's very modern. Destroyed in the war and it rebuilt.
Distrutta nella guerra e ricostruita.
Good place for a fresh start. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with my life yet. One adjustment at a time.
Ok, vabbè. Quindi lui ha deciso di cambiare vita un pezzo alla volta. Che cosa avevo detto?
It's so nice to finally meet you. I've heard so much about you. I wanted to thank you personally for getting and for helping Rufus come to terms with himself. He may come off a little gruff, but once you get past that, he's a lovely fellow. I'm studying to be an architect again and living with Rufus
studi per
in our
diventare un
beautiful flat
architetto
in
di nuovo.
Rotterdam, just down the river from Nijmegen, where I grew up. Of course, it's
bestemmiato?
improved immensely since I was there last. Gleaming futuristic buildings and clean
Cos'era quella
streets,
parola?
full of educated, accepting people. You natives of the 21st century have no idea how fortunate you are. You too, as Rufus said in his own laconic way.
Noi nativi del XXI secolo non abbiamo idea di quale fortuna abbiamo.
We'd love to show you
Effettivamente.
around. It's the least we could do.
Va bene, ci vediamo. Liceal. Penso di aver parlato con tutti. Sì. Ok. Stanno per aprire il museo?
There you are.
Sento un vociare.
Enjoyed that. Now, there's one more person I wanted to introduce you to. I think you know her.
Sorry if I frightened you. Just a little joke I've been saving for
Persephone?
a long time. Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Persephone, former goddess of the cycle of life and renewal, and now a regular mortal. I wanted to meet you
È
in
una
person.
mortale.
And thank you for freeing all these people. And me. I hate to think what would have happened to us without your intervention.
Oh, chiediamoli, perché mi hai sussurrato per tutto questo tempo?
Indeed. Suffice it to say that while Pluto was controlling the eyes and ears of each golden statue, I was able to control their
Ok,
tongues.
quindi Pluto controllava
and
le
whisper to you when he
orecchie
was
e gli occhi di
distracted.
ogni statua.
I am sorry my messages were so cryptic. There were only ever brief windows in which I could speak to you without being detected.
Hai creato tu il loop temporale?
I may have given up my immortality, but I still retain my gifts as the goddess of a cycle of life and renewal. After witnessing Pluto punish countless poor souls over thousands of years, I knew this generation, the final wave, would not survive. So I tried to give them a way to buy more time. A second chance. Rather, as many second chances as they needed to avoid his wrath. So I whispered to Sentius in secret, telling him the prayer required to create a portal in my shrine. I knew the
Vabbè, sì, qui ci sta raccontando quello che è successo, ovvero Sentio che ha creato il portale nel suo tempio per poter tornare indietro e vivere per sempre. Ah, però per creare il portale bisogna sacrificare la sua vita, quindi potevi farlo solo per aiutare altre persone.
And as a veteran soldier, he had long since shed his fear of death. He quickly discovered that he could, in effect, prolong his own life indefinitely by exploiting the cycle. Of course, once I had taught him the prayer, I could not unteach him. And there was little I could do but wait for someone like you to come along and see him for what he was. We were all fortunate you came along when you did.
Cos'è stato di
I don't know
Pluto?
what happened to him. I haven't heard from him, and I rather hope it stays that way.
E di Caronte?
Oh, she inherited dominion over the underworld. Last time we spoke, she was working on a new world of some kind. She wouldn't say what it was.
Ok, quindi Caronte è diventato il capo dell'aldilà e sta costruendo un nuovo mondo.
One day. And you.
È stato bello conoscerti.
Oh, and one last thing. Do you remember all those golden statues scattered throughout the city?
Sì, le ricordo tutte quelle statue.
Because they remember you.
Loro mi ricordano?
Of all the heroes who ever journeyed to the underworld and returned, none came close to achieving what you did. Hercules, Orpheus, Theseus, and Aeneas would be proud.
Ercole, Orfeo, Teseo e Enea ne sarebbero fieri. Finale 4 di 4. Signori, che finale! Il meglio per la fine. Bellissimo. Bellissimo, davvero. Quindi questa serie si conclude qui con questo finale bomba. Incredibile. E quindi qui finisce il gioco. Beh, ragazzi, che finale. Che finale. Comunque, io posso dirvi che per questo episodio e per questa serie è tutto. Prima di lasciarvi, però, come sempre, vi ricordo di iscrivervi al canale, lasciare un mi piace, attivare le notifiche e lasciare anche un commento. In più vi ricordo, come sempre, che da lunedì al venerdì, dalle 20:45 alle 23:30, sono in live. E vi ricordo anche di passare sui miei altri social che trovate in descrizione, nelle info del canale oppure qui sopra. Io spero che questo video vi sia piaciuto e spero di vedervi anche in un prossimo video. Ad Maiora.